Hey, critters, welcome back. I forget what Matt Mercer says in the beginning, but this is FunUntitled, going over episode 7-9 of The Legend of Vox Machina, only on Amazon Prime.
More like the Legend of Deus Ex Machina. Cause my god!
How long were you holding that in?
Since we saw Pike in the last episode.
So it's me, your boy Annie.
And I'm Minty.
And like we said, this is FU podcast, FunUntitled.
God, you always screw it up.
Every podcast we serve in FU. And I'll let you start because I gotta keep my persona of the hardcore Critical Role fan.
The doping parent.
Yes, wow, sweetie, you're doing great.
Everything you do, nothing's a failure. Look, the first 3 episodes was a little bland, right? Some good jokes, but bland. 6 to 9 got really dark, but that's when I thought that's when you're getting to like the grit of it, so it's like getting good. Then when you get to the action of 7 and 9, it's a little like there's no explanations for anything, so almost anything can happen, which is kind of okay, except how they did it in these 3 episodes, which is just like, even Scanlan was like, how convenient, right? Like they were trying to like fourth wall break, be like, I mean, just roll with it, but it's like, I'm not gonna roll with it because there's no logic in this.
Alright, let's start in chronological order. Episode 7, Scan Bowl.
This is the weakest of all the 9 episodes. One, it only has one of them, which is Scanlan has to, which I don't understand. He had to go to the guard's house and cause a great distraction.
He had to try to get as many guards to one place so that way they could save Cassandra.
This was the best option.
I don't know why 2 people didn't go.
Yeah, it made no sense that, like, if they were just gonna stand there in the stupid trench, it's like, only one of you's gonna go?
Okay, do we know where they got the potions from? I know they said it back in episode Who Gives Us Shit.
I don't know, I just assumed it was from that Sean Gilmore's store.
Is his name Sean?
Is it not?
It sounds right.
I thought it was.
I thought it'd be more fantasy and not the guy from Psych.
I thought you were a fat Critical Role fan. Fat.
Gilmore's fat.
Rude.
I'm body positive. Yeah, the fight was just kind of weird. I don't know. He overuses Scanlan's hand too much.
I didn't think he used it enough. I was like, why use the potions when you have a hand that can come out anywhere and do anything a hand can do and almost fight like a weapon for you?
I mean, it's not really much to say other than Scanlan just scanning around.
I thought he could have used the music more.
That's true.
Right? Like, if
I thought it was cute that he had to sing the polymorph spell.
Oh, that made no sense to me.
I mean,
where'd the scroll come from either?
I mean, it came to the same place with potions, man.
Nowhere. So this was definitely a weak episode. And nothing to do with Scanlan. It's just like the logic of it all didn't make sense. I did like the pooping scene.
Why?
Because it's funny and it's detailed.
Oh. You know, I told you this, but Travis and Sam, the people who plays Grog and Scanlan, wrote this episode, and with all the crude humor, I was like, yeah, I could see that.
I could see that with how poorly written this episode was. Yeah.
Alright, moving on to episode 8, Silver Tongue.
I also didn't like this episode. Okay, so this is basically they storm, not the castle, but they storm the area that Cassandra, Percy's sister, is being held.
Yeah, they stormed Anderson's house.
Oh.
Why he kept it, I have no idea.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep a prisoner anywhere, why there?
Why did he have to be so ugly?
Because he's a villain.
But the Briarwoods are hot.
He's not the main villain.
Alright.
And I mean, the most of the fight is basically them fighting Anderson, and Anderson was able to control the knights.
His silver tongue.
What I just didn't get was clearly nothing was working. So they kept doing the same shit, wasting their bullets, their arrows, technically not Vax's knives, but still, you know, it's like,
You know what I don't get? What I don't get is he had a silver tongue that can control anything. Why not just control Vox Machina from the very get? Like, he was very theatrical with the whole, I just slit your sister's throat and I'm gonna pour myself a drink instead of leaving.
yeah, why did Percy just not shoot him at that point?
I don't know. This episode made me really question the pepper box. That's the gun he has with all, yeah, I think that's the gun with all the names on it because he keeps calling it that.
Peppa.
But I'm like, wait, wasn't it called Bad News? Oh well. But I'm confused because it seems like it doesn't give him any hooks.
Look, this is no Emperor's time of Hunter x Hunter. He didn't put a chain to his heart saying, I can only use my powers against the spider troop, and when I do, it is amazing godlike powers.
Who gives a shit about the smoke? Yeah, Percy's on fire. I don't give a shit. He's hot.
I mean, it's the whole imagery, right? Of like the black smoke and the gun with the gunpowder, right?
Yes? I don't know. I thought Satan possessed him, and that's why, spoiler alert, 20 years later, he has a Satan child.
What?
I thought
a
this was
demon
Satan.
child?
Alright, a little disclosure. Minty keeps making characters who are holy people who just yell, Demon! Demon!
To tieflings?
Yeah.
Even though they're technically not demon, technically.
That's 2 characters, it's too many.
Hey man!
But yeah, so I'm just kind of confused, why did Percy go all psycho? I don't know.
Because he betrayed them.
No, I mean, like, why did he have to be all evil and have that stupid bird mask if it doesn't give him any benefits?
Yeah, does the pig mask automatically come on and then he has to physically take it off?
I like to imagine he just like swirls into the river and comes back next time he sees someone's on the list.
He's like, God damn it. Maybe it's one less thing to pack. No, he had it on when he shot that kid who was the coach rider, the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing comes up whenever he feels like it.
Maybe it doesn't magically appear.
Maybe it does.
Maybe it does. Anyway, this episode's just kind of whatever. I mean, we got to see Keela heal someone, I guess.
With the power of spit, we all knew that was a possibility.
Alright, episode 9, which
Annie hyped up as one of the best. That Annie hyped up as the best episode of these 12 episodes. And I was like, okay, let's go.
Matt Mercer lied to me, okay? He was in a Twitter space interview and he said episode 9 was going to be the best.
It had the most fighting, right?
Yes.
Because it's constantly fighting against the undead, which, in my opinion, is like the worst fights. Because there's nothing to the undead. The whole point of like the fear of the undead is just being really like normal people who have a hard time with like this dread and with this overpowering numbers. But I'm like, don't bullshit me with that you're only able to kill one at a time. That's why I hate when the undead is the enemy and you're like fantasy people. It only works in real life situations.
I don't, okay, like, let's start from the very beginning just to get out of the way. We do it whole Silas and Delilah's backstory. That Silas was dying from some kind of disease. I'm gonna call it syphilis. And
Syphilis?
then Delilah was like, I'm gonna, make a blood cult. You're gonna be a vampire. Who gives a shit? This was really important, darling. And then that's when Delilah goes batshit crazy and she like summons 1,000 zombies and it's like, okay, so now they're just killing everyone. This seems really OP. What happened in the main game? I demand to know what happened in the main one.
Why not bring back the monsters, which someone in the comments said they're called Right.
Right.
I feel like that was more impressive, but I guess animation budget.
And then, okay, I don't give a shit about Pike's little journey. Like, they shouldn't have, I don't know how to fix the Pike problem. Because she just came out of nowhere without her suffering and convulsing in church, then would have been random. But there has to have been a better way to shoehorn Pike than making me suffer through her bullshit emotional problems.
I mean, it's hard, right? Because Ashley Johnson was in and out of the first podcast.
No, I get she was gone, but at the same time, like, they changed a lot of things. Like, the Archie, the resistant leader?
He died!
Yeah, he died, but he was retconned to be Percy's childhood friend.
Oh.
We could have just retconned that Pike was always there. I don't see a reason why she had to leave.
So she could have a power-up. It's kind of a cliche kind of scene.
I will say some of the writings in Vox Machina is a little too much on the nose. Specifically, the one where Percy and Archie are going down memory lane and then Archie immediately dies afterwards.
I mean, kind of cute. Brutal, for sure. Like, geez, I didn't see the death flags.
And I don't like how they're doing the magic users with the Keyless being like, I could summon walls of ice if my insecurities wasn't so crippling.
Oh god, anything that's overused, it's that shit. Like, we're kind of over this. Get over it.
Like, I understand that, we need to add some more diversity so they weren't just all murder-happy hippies. Assholes. I don't know why I thought hippies. The synonyms in my head. But having the two women who was mostly magic users both deal with emotional problems, I was like, really? We're doing this?
I don't know if Pike's was necessarily emotional than like a wavering of faith. Or like, maybe it is emotional because it's also kind of to deal with like confidence. But I feel like it's more like being lost on a journey. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know what you mean. Because for her to just come and like her astral plane can do so much power, it's like...
She basically just like wipes out the first waves of zombies and give everyone a power up and she's not physically there. She's just astral projecting.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Because we've been watching a lot of like death simulation reality games.
Yeah.
And like 2 series has it where a laser can come down and shoot people. And then also they can give people powers. Like that's what Pike was. Pike was the...
Good game.
In a sense, right? The game master who can kill whoever she wants and give anyone powers. The giants were the players of the game.
Playing the world's highest stake of red light, green light.
I don't know your Squid Game references.
No, watch it.
One day!
Do you like Vax and Keela?
As a couple? Not really. I feel like it was a bit shoehorny.
There's no sign of Keela reciprocating the feelings for Vax.
No, I mean, I see it. I just don't care for it. So it's just like, I mean, they're very vanilla.
Vanilla.
So it's not like...
It's better than Pike and Ganlin.
Oh god, that one's like, there's nothing. Give me something. At least I feel like Keyleth and Vax gives me something, but I get nothing from the two gnomes. The gnomes. Okay, cool.
Fun fact, in the beginning of Legend of Vox Machina, no, I'm sorry, I mean the live games, I don't know what you call it, the live streams? Anyways,
podcast?
Yeah, the podcast, sure. Ganlin was only interested in Pike because like he had like this weird fetish dream of just marrying any other gnome and like starting a relationship.
That's weird.
I think they retconned that.
I hope so. It just seems very shallow and weird.
Yeah, well.
Alright, so I guess that's my take on 7 to 9. Not the greatest. I like 4 and 6 better. I was hoping more because I'm like, after 4 and 6, I was like, a series I could rewatch. Now I'm like, if I'm bored, I'll rewatch it. Maybe. If like, I only have 1 day left of Amazon Prime.
They took out a Percy's and Vex line.
Alright, we're done.
And if they take out the next cool line after this episode, I am done. I'm officially done.
You can do your own thing later.
Okay, I'll make my own Legend of Vox Machina.
Go and do that.
And there's gonna be 10 times more trinket.
And more pooping scenes.
Okay.